Okay, it's Friday the 13th, and uh, so I want to tell you all, I used to have a very large family, so I'm going to go over their names. Okay, um, I have family in Vegas. That's on my dad's side. Um, Uncle Joe, Uncle Jeff, and Catherine Lissack, Aunt Zoe, and Natalie Rodriguez. We're all Catherine Lissack is supposedly the mother of the rest of those, and my father, Frank. Jeffrey Hildebrandt lives in Florida, though. And Tony Orlando is another one. So I had all those. And all of those people had children. Okay? So that's a lot of family. Okay? So Natalie Rodriguez had two different sets of family, which I can't even count how many that is. It's probably about 4 kids. Half of them Hispanic and half of them Caucasian, Anglo-Caucasian. Zoe had at least three daughters and one son. So that's probably 4 kids. Zoe, my dad's sister, and she's in Orlando. My father had 3 kids, and Tony Orlando has, we know of, at least 1. But he adopted 2 daughters on top of that. So that's quite a bit of family just on my dad's side. On my mom's side, Diane, most of the family is right here in the Bay Area, except one. So I had Uncle Gene, who had 3 boys, and Uncle Tommy, who has a boy and a daughter. He had 2 daughters and 1 boy from 2 different wives. It's a lot of family, and they have all had kids. Now, out of all that, the only person that's possibly alive is my youngest. She is an aunt, Aunt Natalie, which I don't know that she's alive. And I don't know, out of all that, if Danielle might be alive. She's the only one responding partially on Facebook. Also, yeah, Marcus Youngblood has pulled his account off. That's my cousin as well, from Zoe. So that's a lot of family. Now, also, my mom, my grandfather on my mom's side had 4 sisters, at least 4 sisters, and a brother. Tilly, and I don't know, that all I can remember is Tilly, but there's about 4 sisters, and they're up in Michigan. I did visit them in 2002 to reach out to that family so they could get to know me. And Johnny, his younger brother, who was just younger than him, who has family as well. He had at least 1 daughter. So that's a lot of family. Then my Uncle Gene has a wife. He had actually 2 wives. He had 4 boys. That's a lot of family. Okay? And so out of all this family, and out of all this family, there is no one that is going except Tommy's daughter, Tiffany. That's the only one, which I shouldn't even brought up. Tiffany wrote me a message, but I haven't heard her voice, so I don't even know if that's a social media thing, which could be her sister or somebody else. Who knows? Actually, I haven't actually spoken to her over the phone or got a visit or anything. And outside of that, all I had was my Uncle Jeff, who supposedly died last year, and my 2 sisters. Linda is Tony's oldest daughter. And I haven't spoken to her actually over the phone in so long. I think it's 2005 maybe is the last time I saw her. And I don't think I've talked to her on the phone since then. It's 2025. So it's been 20 years since I've physically seen her or talked to her. 20 years. And a lot of times I write her, I don't even get a message back. So one of my sisters told me not to see my uncle that got me in this trailer initially, but then abandoned me. I got stuck paying for it after we had an argument because basically I was paying the entire lot rent while I stayed in a shack built next to the trailer. And basically he would scream all night long because he had a night shift on his nights off. I didn't sleep at all. It was hard living with him. I lived with him for a year and a half. I am excessively grateful to him despite it. And one night he wanted to charge me more money. I had worked all day and I wanted to rest. I probably would have done what he said. He just kept going up on the rent. Well, he had another trailer that he had a wife that is disabled that he wanted her to pay the full rent. But really, he wanted me to pay for the whole trailer while he stayed away from her. So I had to pay for the trailer. Here we are, 2 people. She's disabled, and I'm just working on pennies. And I'm living in a shack, and if I dare go, if he's out in the kitchen, I don't really come out in the kitchen. Basically, I had to wait till he disappeared or was gone to really enjoy the rest of the house. It was hard. Basically, you just hide it in the freaking bedroom. That's what made it so bad, is that you weren't really sharing a house. You were living in pure terror with this person. So I finally, out of frustration, we had a situation where I pulled out a taser after he broke into my room and tried to terrorize me. So I just whipped it out and I flashed it, but I didn't touch him. It was a joke, but it was also to tell him to get out of my room. I didn't mean for it to cause the end of the world, but after that, he decided to leave. And I still love him, although he was really hard to live with. So I want to apologize to my uncle. I do love and care for him, but I was recommended by a family to just not see him. And I wonder in the back of my head how many family members were recommended not to have anything to do with me. There is Gene, my uncle, who I would visit every Christmas time, his whole family, his wife's family, the Thomases. And I want to tell you that hurt me. My sisters came and they just basically separated me from them and just suggested I don't see them anymore. So basically what's happened to me is I've been separated by lots of family members. They're not in my life. All I have is my 2 sisters who I helped come to Florida. And I want to tell you, as she was 18 and Olivia was 9, I paid for their trips to come here. I suggested it, and then I paid a good portion of it, although they did get helped by my grandfather and my mom, so they could go and enjoy Florida. And so I want to record that. And so now my hands are tied. And basically one of my sisters just said, you can go to a shelter. So I'm really angry because like I said, she went to one of my family members and told me not to go to them. Well, they recently died. I never could tell him thank you or mend things or anything. I don't know why she said that. Then at the point, I'm like, how many of my family members are dead? So I'm leaving this recording because I'm wondering, people are supposed to live in their 80s. I mean, a lot of people don't, but I don't really have very many family members. My grandfather lived to be 84. I think my dad has lived to be in his 70s, late 70s or 80s. He died a couple of years ago, 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So he's 21 years older than me. So if he was alive, I would 58, 60, be 78, be 79. So he lived to be like 75 or 76 years old, I guess. Um, so this is from my sister when I pass on. So basically, I've been fighting to get a job, and this year, and I got a pretty good amount of money. And normally, you should be able to get a job a lot easier. It's almost impossible. I have filled out so many applications, and something is wrong. Something is really, really wrong with our system. Or I'm being held back or something. All right. And it's got to be a crime. It's got to be a crime. I've not tried any less than I had in the past. I haven't, I went to jail because of a medical issue. I had no criminal record prior to that. I was 50 years old. How many people, if they've lived a crime-free life, after 50 is the likelihood of them going to jail or prison? So I had a medical problem, or I got poisoned. I went bananas, and then I went to jail, and I recovered. Something happened to me in this rooming house. And there was a bad man that came in there who talked about murdering a woman. And I went bananas, but something chemical was put in my body. Something happened right before that. Now, he might have been mad. He just got out of jail. And the owner of the rooming house says, if he acts up, let me know. I called him right away. He is doing something pretty strange. I'm pretty fucking scared of him. And the guy goes, well, we got to give him a break. After I'm riding in the car, and this guy's talking about murdering his ex-wife, maybe, who has his daughter. Now, maybe he doesn't really mean it, but I'm pretty dang shocked. And I must have been poisoned by this prick. I probably could have died like 6 or 7 times as I traveled across the country in this state of mind that I was in. It was a crime. Whatever happened to me, I'm pretty sure I got poisoned or some medical experiment or something was done to me that is beyond my understanding without my consent. But I can never pray out what happened to me. So I can't tell you what's happened to me, but basically, I'm in this trailer, and I don't think it's an accident. There are things done to this trailer that I don't think is storm related. I feel, and it doesn't matter because the trailer park's going to close soon. So I've lived in it without power, and that was, I want to tell you, I'm almost sure that wasn't an accident. But maybe it was, but it sure did. Like some strange men came up at 1 o'clock in the morning and went to work on my box, and a fireball went through my house. Pretty freaking wild and amazing. Luckily, I survived that. And I know God has something special for me, but I'm telling you, something terrible is at foot in my life. So none of my family members are really calling me and talking to me. And my 2 sisters kind of turn, and they do help me. It's just that, well, one of them hasn't really helped me in a long time. I first moved in here, she did help me put some paneling, but basically kind of let me know that that's the end. I do not understand her. Her husband is a little odd. I want to tell you, I don't relate to him at all. And maybe that has an effect on her life. And she has to, out of love and the fact that she's had children with him. I don't know. I just think they're pretty, have been pretty selfish when they see me suffering, and they just turn and just say, well, that's your problem. Especially when I thought about her when she was 9 years old and wanted to see her get out of Vegas because I felt Vegas was a bad environment. I really tried in a little ways to make sure that they got out of harm's way of Vegas, because I really thought Vegas was a bad town. And it was my idea to get close to my sisters, to make sure to bring my family together. I want to tell the rest of my family that's alive that my goal was to bring the family closer together. I really liked having big Christmases with all my family, which I can't do that now. So basically, there's just nobody there, and it hurts me deeply. I'm supposed to have the Jean's kids are real close. There's 3 big boys, and they got families, and I haven't seen them since they were kids. And it hurts me deeply because I never wanted that to happen. Something happened that was decided when my grandfather died, and it hurts me deeply, and I don't think I had anything to do with that at all. I don't think that was a very difficult time, and everybody should put that behind them and forgive everybody. That's not what happened. That was the end of my family and my connection with them. Really the end. And that hurts me deeply. And so there's the whole family out in Vegas, the whole network of family up in Michigan. And I should have a huge family. That a lot of them don't know me. The children, the grandchildren of my aunts and uncles do not probably know me, a majority of them. And my cousins do not talk to me at all. A whole lot of my cousins that could or still be alive are not in my life at all. Do not care if I'm alive or dead. Will not even bother contacting me. So I'm only interacting with a few people over Facebook, and most of the time they don't even bother to respond back. I really only have my sisters, which they do interact, but I can't expect much help. In another month or two, I will be unable to do anything. If I do not find a job in the next few weeks, I'm going to be in real trouble. I'm making this video for the authorities. Everything on YouTube lately, I've made lots of recordings because I feel there has been a horrendous crime committed against me. Either the destruction of my home, or the money that had been siphoned that was meant to go towards another home, or the prevention of me getting a job, some whatever interaction, that interference or something. I'm really angry about it because I definitely I had a situation that was criminal at the last job I was at. It was definitely criminal and is not tolerated. And I'm angry about it. But I feel that there was something bad or criminal all the way up into November 5th, but it's just my opinion. It just was really unclassy. I'm not protected at all by the government on what's happened to me. I feel it's a mechanic at work. A mechanic is an individual, is not somebody that repairs cars, but is an individual that takes your life through circumstances, and that's what I'm terrified of. That takes your life through stripping away Also, I've had, when Obamacare, about 4 or 5 years ago, I had a situation where I would call and set up doctors through my health care, and I would wait 2 months. He said, you can get and then they would cancel it. After that happened a couple of times in the middle of the year, I need things. I have like high blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes. Those things should be monitored. Well, it just really turned into a real nightmare to try to get. I was getting canceled. And as you know, my company, my personal vehicle, I spent a lot of money getting it fixed, rebuilding the engine. It's supposed to have a rebuilt engine in it, and not just a remanufactured engine, which has closer tolerances. It's not a core engine out of a junkyard. It's an engine bought out of a parts house. It's like a rebuilt starter. It's almost supposed to be like new. I got a pretty cheap deal on it, but it's using lots of oil. It's not smoking, but I got a lot of oil loss for some reason. Now, unless somebody's pulling oil out of the engine all of a sudden, it's some kind of prank. Anyhow, I'm recording this stuff. Something terrible is happening in my life, and I don't know how long I'm going to live. So I'm recording stuff so that the authorities can go after the people that are interfering in my life, that are preventing me from being able to have a new home or an apartment. The family members that have been told not to come into my life, which that's what happened to my Uncle Jeff. I don't know. Maybe my Uncle Jeff did something really bad. The only problem is it doesn't take much to offend my sister. Yeah, her own mother offended her. Her brother offended her. That's me. Anybody that doesn't say, but I mean, she is really the only person that helped me. And I want to say she is, at this time, Jody Orlando is the only family member that has helped me. She brought a bag of food, but my problem is, a bag of food is not going to save me in a month or two. Not having a job is going to be a terrible disaster for me. All this money that I've spent not having power, it makes me a little bitter at them that they have nice homes and yet they can't allow me to stay with them. Maybe because of my medical problem, which I don't think is an accident. I think that I've had a little experiments maybe done on me. I can't prove that. A medical experiment. Something under the table. I can't tell who did that. Nobody will believe me. Angie Burdett I love. But she changed. And I gave her free rent for 5 years. And I want to know that she's safe. And with all the things happening in my life, all I want to is make sure that she's safe. Her personality changed. When hers came into my home, she was kind of sweet, and she would sit down and eat dinner with me, but went out. As time went on, she got weird and hostile and became bitter, but I didn't do anything to her, really. She had free rent, and she could come and go as she wanted. She was not forced to have sex with me, and the whole time she was with me, she found me unattractive and unappealing. No pressure at all. The only time is that I have finding empty cases of DVD or VCR movies that just seemed to disappear. And it upset me. It's not that they were terribly expensive, just that I found them a collective thing. But outside of that, she was a good girl. And I don't believe she's a thief. It's just something I don't know. And I don't know that she did it. Because anybody with the cast of characters that I got living around me could be involved. So it's almost 25 minutes now. So anyhow, I've got a list of things, and I don't got anybody's help and no family left. I haven't been able to access my health care as I would like, and I think it might have even been sold or something. There's a cast of things. My truck, I also lost 2 cats mysteriously, and there were rats. They ran the rats completely off, better than the dog. Although the dog might be the better than the cats, but in my opinion, the rats just didn't even come around because every now and then that damn cat would sneak out and kill everything outside. There was no rats. I didn't have a rat problem, and that probably didn't help my wiring. All of a sudden, they started working on the Weeden Island Preserve, and rats infested our area. So dog, and using decon means I kill my dog. So, but we've pretty well wiped the rats out. She tries her best, God bless, to run them off. These are my videos. So I've had a real hard time, and it's terrible. And I'm mad, and I'm angry at the world. I am angry partially at a few African Americans who caused me a job loss. And I have felt very emotional and angry at everybody who have neglected and left me to die.